Hey, hi guys, this is Akash Verma. Welcome to Cafe IU. In today's video, we are going to continue our conversations around the tools that can be used for data science. We have talked about Visual Studio Code, we have talked about AI Assistant in JetBrains. We have talked about AWS SageMaker Studio Lab, which was the last video. In this video, we will extend the conversation and take that to Google Colab. Now, Google Colab is an environment, is a complete data science / Jupyter environment or interactive coding environment provided by Google. Really popular, but I'm going to show you some of nitty-gritties around it, how to get started, and what are the different options you can choose from, how to maybe use Google Storage, Google Drive as a storage when you work with Google Colab to save your files or upload your data set and whatnot. This is going to be an interactive video, so stay tuned, watch till the end. Quick check, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. Please give me likes. Let's hit the like button. That really helps and promote my content to other people like you. Let's start. So when you go to Google Colab, you really just need to hit Google Colab on Google, and the first link that comes up is this, colab.google.com. There's another link which I just saw, which I've never seen. I'll probably check that. Colab.google. Yeah, this talks about the product page. So quickly checking, what is this? It's a hosted Jupyter notebook environment, which requires absolutely no setup, is completely free of cost for GPUs and TPUs, and it's specially designed for machine learning and those kind of education. So if you're learning, figuring out, reading, these are the places to go. This is a good website if you want to check out some of the samples and find some curated notebooks around different use cases and stuff. I'm not going to get into detail into this. You can check these out because there's quite a few of them, but I'm rather going to be talking of the product itself. So this is how you are greeted with. I will probably start with few interactive ones, so we will do this in order, and I would stop till the fourth one. I don't want to do all of them, like how to work with BigQuery, data table, files, etc. etc. There's tons of different examples that Google has created which you can use and leverage for your project. So we'll go about them one by one. So the first and foremost, when you get started, this is how you are greeted with. This is the environment. You have standard. Okay, let me change probably the theme, or let me try to zoom it a bit. Yeah, this is slightly zoomed in version, so it's better. So I have a dark theme as always in most of the places. I'll go to notebook settings and see if I can change. No. Yeah, it should be somewhere here. Yeah. So I can save, and then it'll probably not change for all the places. So yeah, this is an overview of collaboratory features in Google Colab. So you have the file menu, you have a lot of different options to select runtime and all, and that's the core option that I really want to talk about. So if you see top right, here's a connect option, click on it. And what this does is, behind the scene, it spins up a container or your environment for you, which is completely dedicated to you. Now, this environment, it takes like a minute or so to get started, but once it does, you can see what it is and what are the resources you have. So you have about 12 GB of RAM, you have about 107 GB of disk space, and it has Python 3 Google Compute Engine enabled, and it's showing resources since a certain time. You can upgrade to Colab Pro, which is another feature which we will talk about at the end for this, right? And this is a CPU type runtime. You can change it to multiple different options. I'll show what they are. You can change it to hosted runtime, where you have a runtime on Google Colab. It will now show nothing for me. You can have, let's go back just a second, let it come back. Yeah, you can change the runtime type to a couple of options. You have Python and R, both options are available. You can change it to CPU, T4, GPU, and you can have TPUs also. If you are in premium tier, again, these options get enabled, but I think you would know if you are an advanced user of Google Colab, you must already be familiar with this. Simple interactive environment, these are called cells. There's different kinds of cells. You either have text or code. Code is usually tagged as code. text in various places. Sometimes it's called text, sometimes it's called markdown. So it's very straightforward. You have something running, you have a is equals to 10 a, and you just print it. The way you can add or remove cells is you can click plus code or plus text. Google has simplified it. You can add standard Python stuff. A lot of pre-existing stuff is baked into it. For example, if you run like import time, sleeping, sleep for a while, interrupt, done sleeping. So right now it's showing sleeping, it will wait for 30 seconds and it will just probably say done sleeping. We'll come back to that. You can execute regular shell commands under the exclamation mark. So if you just do an ls/bin and do a shift enter, it will give you a list of all the directories within that. And the way it works is the run happens in sequence. So and if the sequence is not completed, the next will probably be not be still in a running state. It will be in a waiting state. So the moment done sleeping was completed, this was executed, and you have tons of different things that are present in the bin file. We don't need to go deeper into this. This is just the folder structure. All right, and you can close the output by just clicking close. So you can just clear the output button by clicking close like I did. You can also connect to GitHub, or you can do different sort of processing. You can have magic commands like HTML. You can have SVG elements. Look at, again, this is a complete HTML embedded. It supports automatic completion of the code. So the moment you do np dot, it should give you all the auto populates, and if it doesn't do, you can do it by command space or control space. So that's just a usual notebook feature, but autocomplete is very good in Google Colab. You can do formatting, stuff like that, standard stuff here. You can have interactive plottings, which is very standard to Jupyter environment. I don't need to really talk about it. There's integration with Drive, so you can do a lot of sharing of code from here. Yeah, you can save a copy in Drive, you can save a copy in GitHub gist, or you can save a copy completely in GitHub. So you can do direct integration with GitHub. That's good. If you want to share this notebook, you can click on share, and this notebook just becomes publicly shareable version if you want to share it. You can limit access, obviously. You can go to settings and you can control who uses it, etc, etc. Some other features about how to do GitHub integration: you can go to settings, which is top right, and you go to GitHub and you authorize with GitHub, and then it will be able to access seamlessly, which is very straightforward. You can have some power levels set up, which is just typing. Editor settings can be updated if you want to use a different font or stuff like that. You can do that. You see the dog up there, that's what I was talking about. The themes, etc, etc, you can do that. You can have custom snippet URL, which can also which is a very useful feature sometimes. And that's it from an overview standpoint. Let's move over to Markdown. We'll go again and convert this editor into light mode so that it's better visible. Markdown is very straightforward. If you're not familiar with Markdown, it's probably what developers use to write general text when they're not coding. It's very straightforward. Hash headings are rendered as title. So single hash would be heading 1, double hash heading 2, and so on and so forth. You can have paragraphs, you can have text, you can have italics, bold, stuff like that. So it's basically text formatting. You can put code blocks here. So for example, if you put it like this, where did it go? Yeah, there isn't a runtime connected, so I'll just connect it. So what happens is, if it knows, it has syntax highlighting specific to a language that you specify. So for example, this block that you see, once I run it, why is that? I don't know why it is. Okay, okay, now I realize this. It's all under single block. So you see this is what this is corresponding to. This is the right one to run. Yeah, so it'll just print, or it'll put whatever code you have here. So you can probably put A, you can do another print A plus B, you can define a def, font, etc, etc, and on the right hand side you can see that it's coming as code. So this is good for code highlighting if you want to paste a code, a snippet, etc, etc. Move on to doing charting. Simple stuff. Charting is also relatively standard. It's Matplotlib is most common library and it's kind of baked in, so you can have line graph examples like this. If you run something without allocating, it's smart enough to know that you're trying to run and it'll allocate it, so that's good. And then you have all sorts of plot available like bar plot, histograms, scatter plot. You can import custom libraries like Altair or Seaborn and things like that you want to use it for plotting. There's tons of plots possible. Pretty much all kinds of plots are possible. You can do subplotting, which is like this. You have multiple different plots. You can have 3D plots using Matplotlib, which is something like this. 3D bar plot. There's tons of example using plot. So Altair is slightly better look and feel wise, and it's also installed and enabled by default. So you have an interactive plot if you want, which you can use and move around. And you can actually, I think you can, you can save as an SVG, you can save as PNG, you can see the source, you can open in Vega editor, which is more of a language used for graphing and stuff. So when you run this, it will give you this plot, which is it's just for tweaking colors and stuff if you want it. You can see Altair example gallery. For instance, if you want to have more knowledge of or understanding of plots, I'll just give you a quick snippet as to what Altair is capable of. It's a quite rich and exhaustive library, very similar to Seaborn, I think, just more interactive, I think. So you have line chart, you have all sorts of charts, circular plots, scatter plot, trending stuff. Like this is a very common type of plot where you have a confidence interval plotting, etc. You can do tons of distribution plotting. You can have table plotting like an hexagon or correlation charts and stuff. Maps are really good, and if you go much more deeper, like advanced calculation for stock prices, etc. So you have candlesticks charts that you can use. So tons of plotting and charting available within Altair. We'll probably do a different video. All right, moving forward to using local files and different sorts of disk and I would say local file system. So let's connect. So there's a package. Okay, it has too many sessions. Yeah, so since I'm on a free account, it's giving me this error. So I'll just terminate other session and now connect. So now it will allocate. So Google.Colab is a package in itself, and you can import files using, you can do file upload, etc, etc. You can download files using Google Colab, import files. You can actually mount Google Drive, something like this. So if you run this, connect to Google Drive, it will give you this option. It will connect to your user account and it will create a folder inside your Google Drive, and from there you can just directly read and interact. So I'll just click here. It will ask for permissions. I'll just allow it, and this should be complete. I think it's going and creating some stuff in my Google Drive. Yeah, done. So you have mount drive there. Okay, let's run this again. I think it did mount, already mounted. Let's just see. Yeah, drive is here. So you see my drive, and there's a lot of stuff in my drive which is standard to me. Let's just run this, and so it created a folder called /content. I will probably check that. Yeah, this is the folder. There's a lot of stuff inside content, and it created something like a my drive. I don't know where this is, so I'm having a hard time finding it, but I'm pretty sure it exists. I don't remember the exact path, but it has this mounted. I'm pretty sure about it. I've used this in the past. So basically what it has done is it's created a file in my Google Drive, and it's now interactively using it. So where is this beneficial? This could be it could be a great place if you have a data set and you want to mount it, or you want to save checkpoints and all, so you can just use it as a local storage. You can have a pi drive also, which is a different way of using authentication with Google Drive. That's another. You have a drive REST API which you can use. You can create a new drive file, which is just a new file from your code using this notebook. So there's a couple of ways of doing interactiveness with Google File. You can also work with Google Sheets if you want. So if you have some data in Google Sheet and you want to interactively read it into your notebook to perform some analytics, yeah, this is a good way to do it. Yeah, so that's about how to use Google Drive. Let's move on to using Pandas. Let's do a connect. Let's quickly go back to light mode. Sorry about this, all doing all the time. Yeah, Pandas is baked into it, so you have just create some Pandas data frame, it will do that. And there's some interactive plotting available. For example, you can see it as a more like a tabular format, or you can do some sort of charting on it. I don't think this is gonna generate any chart, but yeah, okay, it did. So it's gested some charts using, I think, some sort of an AI. I have no idea what these charts are. So there's some value which is, there's just two value in the table, so that's what it is showing. Okay, it's showing index. There's distributions, there's Sarah, all of the names it has taken as a basically categories. So yeah, it's kind of pointless, but you do get the idea, right? It does suggest some charts out of the box, which is a good thing to do. You can do regular expressions, you can do variable search, you can do tons of stuff that you regularly do with Panda. You can play with time, you can this all sorts of formatting options present in this that you can do with Pandas. You can do it in Google Colab. Yeah, so that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. A good set of features about Google Colab. Yeah, I recalled. Please do subscribe to my channel. Just remember, I forgot that I need to talk about the pricing. So there's Google Colab has multiple plans. It started as a free tier, but as your computing needs grow, you can have different options around it. And so initially they started with Pro, but I think they have multiple options now. So you can pay as you go, which is $12 for 100 compute units or $60 for 500, and these compute units expire after 90 days. You don't need to have any subscriptions. The GPUs are just faster. Or you can do a monthly subscription, which is pretty much like $12 a month, close to $12, 11.79, and you get the same features. You have some more options available, such as code generation and AI enabled autocomplete, which is in Google Colab Pro version. I think this is useful. I did give it a try for a month or so, but I don't use it that often, so not very fruitful for me. The Pro Plus is more is geared for premium users. I think 400 compute units for a total of 500 per month. Compute units again expire after 90 days. There's some sort of a rollover policy that they have. The GPUs are much more faster and premium GPUs, and you can actually notebooks will continue running for up to 24 hours if you close the browser, which is a very much needed feature if you're running something as a job or you have a long training running on. So yeah, that's the premium version for it. If you're interested, probably you'd know, but there's better and alternate data science environments that you can get if you're going paid version. So yeah, that's it. That's all about the video. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe. Bye bye.